Hey guys, Harry here and welcome to Read Tomes. Today I've got my December book haul for you. It's a little bit early, but I decided since Christmas is coming up and I'm probably going to get a bunch more books then, I've decided to do two videos, this book haul as well as my Christmas book haul. So let's jump straight into this. This month I've bought a fair few books. Most of them are the starts of series or all the books in the series so far. So we'll start off with a classic, which you might be surprised that I haven't read since I've read The Hobbit, and now you can probably guess what it is. It is The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. I've never read these books. I love The Hobbit and I love the film, so I decided I should probably get round to actually reading the books. I was going to buy this like really nice red velvet bind up of like all the books the way they're meant to be in like one volume, but I decided I don't want to damage the spines, so I just bought some nice paperbacks which were pretty much dirt cheap. I think it cost me about a tenner, and I just like the black matte look. Now the second thing that I bought was The Elemental by Anthony John, and this book is about a boy who's 16 and he's born into this world where everyone is born with one of the elements, fire, earth, wind or water, but unlucky for Thomas he doesn't have an element, so that's basically where the story starts and takes off. Now this book I have already read. This is the first one I picked up once all these books arrived, and I read it in one sitting and I absolutely loved it, so there will be a review coming shortly, probably next week maybe, if you're lucky. It'll be very soon, but I absolutely love this book and I thought the cover was amazing. It reminded me a bit of a Divergence cover, so I should probably do some research before I do the review and see if it's the same artist, because it has the same sort of feel to it. But I highly recommend this book. It was amazing and there will be a review very soon. Now the next two books I picked up are by Maria Young, and that is Blood Red Road and Rebel Heart. I actually don't know anything about these books. They were on offer and they only cost me £7 for the both of them, so I decided to pick them up. I've seen people reviewing them here and there, so I thought it could be an interesting read. I'm looking forward to these books. If you've read them, please tell me what you think, because I'll probably be reading these sometime this month if I can get around to it. Now, the next thing I picked up was Defiance by CJ Redwine, I believe. Yep. And from what I know about this book, it's about a female whose father has gone out into this woods. Basically, he's gone missing and she needs to leave this capital city, but the overbearing ruler won't let her leave or something along those lines. So her father's, I think, apprentice or right-hand man helps her out, and then they go on some sort of adventure to find her father. So that should be an interesting read. Once again, this is another book I've seen people reading and they enjoyed it, so I decided to pick it up and give it a go myself. Now the next thing I picked up was Grace Mercy by Robin Laffevers. I think that's how you pronounce his name, I'm not 100% sure. Now what pulled me towards this book was once again the whole female assassin thing. I believe she was trained by the god of death, so that's going to be very interesting to read. Also, the print's rather large, so I should be able to power through this. And I can't wait to read this. Also, it's book 1, so hopefully the second book's out, and if it's good, I'll be picking up that and reading it. And I love new books. They smell awesome. The next thing I picked up was Breathe by Sarah Crossan. And this is, I believe, a dystopian sort of novel where the world has been completely destroyed and there's no trees left to create oxygen, and there's sort of like a national lottery to decide who gets to live in like this biodome sort of city where there is oxygen being created, but everyone else is shoved to the side and they have to suffer a slow, painful suffocation of death. And I'm going to assume that the main characters don't get into the city, or they were in the city and then got kicked out, because otherwise it won't be that interesting. From just that idea alone, it should be a very interesting read. Another one, this is short, it's only 360 pages, so it should be a nice short read. And once again, I like the colours in this cover, because if you didn't know, my favourite colour is purple, and it just looks pretty. Now, the next thing I picked up was Prince of Thorns by Marcus Lawrence, I believe it is. Going along with the whole assassin theme sort of books that I'm interested in at the moment. This is about Jorg, who is this immortal boy and sort of like assassin thief sort of person who also has this magical ability about him, and he can control the living and the dead, I believe. So automatically I was drawn to this and I absolutely think it's going to be awesome, and it's probably what I'm going to read next. has to be said. And I also know there's a sequel out, which is, I believe, The King of Thorns. So I'll be picking that up probably straight away, just so I can complete this little series, and hopefully it'll be a very interesting read. Now, this book was recommended to me by a friend. It is Among Thieves, A Tale of Kin by Douglas Hunlick? Not sure how you pronounce his name, but since I picked up, I told my friend I was picking up Prince of Thorns, and they just read this and they said, since I'm more than likely gonna like that, I should pick up this. So that's what I did. I don't have a clue what it's about, so it'll be interesting to jump straight into it and just see what it is. Apparently he's working for a crime lord, finds and takes care of trouble inside the boss's organisation while smuggling relics on the side. So maybe he'll come across some magical relic or a book or something like that, and it'll just change his life, and it'll become a very interesting plot twist. Once again, I also like the sort of action cover to this, and the blacks and the greys are just really nice. Now, this was a book I just picked up on a whim because a few people have talked about it and read about it. It is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, and the only thing that I know about this book is it's narrated by Death himself, so that's an interesting concept straight away, and it's probably what's going to make me read this book. But I don't know when I'm going to get round to this. I just picked it up because I was buying a bunch of other books at the same time. Oh, new book smell, man. New book smell. It should be a very interesting read, and I'm assuming a bunch of you have already read it, so please tell me what you liked about it below without giving me any spoilers. It might make me jump in and read it faster. And now the last thing I picked up was Life of Pi by Jan Martel, and the reason why I picked this up was I seen the trailer for the movie, and I'm probably going to go see it in the cinema because it looks absolutely gorgeous. So it's one of those things, I'd rather read the book before I go and see it in the cinema, so I decided to pick it up. I think I prefer the original cover, but it's a big pretty tiger on the front, so I bought it. What can I say? I like tigers. But anyway guys, that has been my December book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've read any of these books, as I said, please leave your comment below on what you thought about them. Tell us what new books you've bought. Hit me up. And guys, I've been Harry. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.